This is Frodo, and this is a LEGO Frodo minifigure. And here's Frodo walking towards Minas Morgul. But LEGO has never made this location within a LEGO set. Today, we're gonna try our best to recreate Minas Morgul within LEGO, but within the time span of 3 weeks. So we're on the clock here, guys. I have to finish building this project of over 14,000 LEGO pieces. That's more than twice this big boy on my shelf, and that took me longer than 1 month to build. Let's get to building. Before recording this video, I had already built a big part of the rockwork and ground underneath the fortress, and when the rockwork was finally finished, I could lay my focus on building the walls of Minas Morgul. This took up quite a large portion of my time because I didn't have enough room to build, so I started by emptying out my LEGO table. When it was finally empty, I had to come up with a system to sort my parts. In comparison to other LEGO builders, I don't have a drawer system yet, so I can't sort my pieces that easily. And searching for all the pieces in a big pile would be even a bigger nightmare. Can't find anything within this pile. Yeah, let's not do that. I started by removing all my useless pieces from bins, and these bins are quite useful for sorting parts and are mobile as well, which is pretty handy for building a big build of over 14,000 pieces. Then I finally got to pour in all the bricks. Honestly, that's my idea of heaven, just the sound of LEGO bricks falling into bins. When I had managed to sort a big chunk of the pieces, I went on to build the walls of Minas Morgul. So building the walls was a lot of fun, and I also loved the technique being used to make the build look like an actual fortress from the Lord of the Rings. I started noticing a pattern in the way the walls were being built, so it got way easier. That really got my hopes up, because at the time I was building the walls, I only had 2 weeks left to build this entire project. So I had to build as fast as possible. To switch up the light bluish gray, I placed some sand green LEGO pieces, which are essential to any gray LEGO build. Even LEGO uses these techniques within their sets. At one point, the walls were high enough for me to start adding some menacing details like the spikes. Attaching to the build went fine and added lots of detailing, but I had a long way to go. This was just the first of 6, so I went back to building fast, and everything went fine until this happened. So what I did is attach these clips 1 stud too far to the right, so I need to move all of these pieces 1 stud to the left on both sides of this build 4 times. This is going to be an insane mess to clean up, so let's get to building. I took the builds apart and fixed the mistakes as quick as I possibly could, and it was getting later and later. I wanted to sleep so bad, and then I finally fixed all 4 builds. After 2 weeks of working on the walls, they're finally done. Yes, you heard that correctly, 2 weeks, which means we only have 1 week left to build the rest of this massive fortress. Minas Morgul was far from finished. I still had to build the big tower of Ethil in the middle along with some other buildings. But there was one problem. I only had a few days to finish building Minas Morgul, so I really had to work fast. First things first, the table is really dirty. Look at my base plates, guys. We really need to clean this. So I had to clean it with this epic kit I received from Clean My Bricks on Instagram. It works quite well for dusting plates and sets with accuracy and high vacuuming power. If you want to clean your LEGO like me, go buy one of these cleaning kits with my personal code Brickley for 10% off your first purchase. The first additional building I decided to make was the Orc Mansion. Of course, my Orc army can't wage war without rest, so I had to give them a recreational area within this huge build. Starting with the rockwork made me realize how much detail is packed into this building. There were many floors to add, and also a bit of detailing on the sides with the windows. I loved placing the pieces for the walls too. It was just so satisfying. Then finally, I built the big spike on top, which is really detailed. And there it is, the Orc Mansion, a place for my Orc army to relax within areas such as the lounge, the bedroom, and finally, the whirlpool. And while building, I had really lost track of time because I was having fun, and it was late, really late, so I just had to stop building. I just finished building this really big tower, but it's already 1/2 midnight, so I'm gonna go to bed and continue building in the morning. Good morning.
It's too early for this, but we're gonna go to my Lego room right now.
The next morning, I woke up after sleeping for just 4 hours, and even though you can hear I'm really tired, I have to beat this challenge. Now, my orc army should be able to keep captives, right? So I had to build a prison. This building was quite similar to the orc mansion and also a joy to work on. And even though there were many similarities, it was higher and had an interesting room with a big chandelier hanging from the ceiling. Other than that, I think it's the same but higher. So let's build something different. The final thing we need to build is the Tower of Ethel. Now, I knew this would be large, so I was hyped to work on it. First of all, I had to work on the foundation for this entire section of Minas Morgul. So I started by placing a series of dark tan plates and added some bricks onto there. Now the future wall section would bulge out, so I had to create these small triangular foundations in order to support the walls on top. Building the walls was pretty much the same as the outer ones, but I worked on some arches and doors for this section too. I finally added the details like a roof on the right, and on the left, a damaged roof because frankly, I couldn't find enough pieces and had to come up with a creative way to solve that. That's what we Lego builders do. And then I added some more of these spikes on top of the triangular walls, and thank God I could start building the Tower of Ethel itself after such a long time. Now, building the tower went okay, but after building for a long while, the tower was finished and I could finally attach it. We finally did it, guys! Minas Morgul is finished, but something's missing. Now Minas Morgul is officially finished. After 3 weeks of building, I managed to finish this huge build made up of over 14,000 Lego pieces. It's absolutely insane how big this is. Minas Morgul dwarves the official Lego Tower of Orthanc set, and I thought that was big. Never mind that thought. Oh, by the way, if you were wondering, the lights were provided by Lighttailing. They were kind enough to send me a light kit for my huge Black Gate of Mordor build, and I decided to use them to recreate the green glow of the Morgul Valley. But let's dive into all the details of the build. The main gate can of course open, but it is way too small for all my minifigures. I mean, I can only fit 2 orcs through in a walking position, well, more if I smash them through. Yeah, that's probably not gonna fit through the gate. The walls can be defended by my orc army, and there's plenty of space within the towers as well. The prison can hold the enemies of Sauron, and there's a chill lounge for the orcs to enjoy their time off. I also thought it would be appropriate to add the boss of sorcery to his throne in Minas Morgul. And those are all the cool things you can do with this massive build. And by the way, this build was designed by LegoMocLoc. He's a true legend for the Lego The Lord of the Rings community, with various locations of Middle-earth available for you to build with instructions. And if you want to recreate Minas Morgul in Lego just the way like I did, purchase the instructions from Rebrickable and collect all the parts through Bricklink. Now, a fair warning to all of you who want to do this, it cost me around $1,200, so you do have to save a lot of money for this. Nonetheless, it was worth buying all of these parts to create this really big Lego build. I hope you enjoyed it, and let me know in the comment section down below what you want to see me build next. Like anything at all, I will try my best to build it. Now, I'm gonna continue building with my favorite brand ever, so I'll see you in the next video on my YouTube channel, Brickley.